Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Your investment in Haley Associates Limited Partnership is benefited by the synergy of 3 companies, all of which are affiliated with Haley Associates, as well as the various individuals employed by those companies. The first company is Key Associates, LLC, as you all know, is the general partner of Haley Associates. There are 5 members of Key Associates who Jack introduced with the slides earlier. Together, these 5 members have over 110 years of experience in the real estate business, in the ownership of multifamily properties. The second company is Dial Communities, Inc. Dial Communities is a full-service property management company that manages all of the apartment communities owned by Haley Associates. DI Communities is a trade name that was just recently adopted by Dial Equities in December of last year. At that time, we had determined that the name Dial Equities wasn't really clearly descriptive of the type of work that Dial Equities really did, and so we adopted the name Dial Communities at that time. DI, as Jack indicated, Jack started Dial Equities back in 1993. We now have 16 years under our belt in managing strictly multifamily properties. DI Communities does not manage properties for non-affiliated owners. It focuses its work exclusively for the benefit of the Haley Associates portfolio. Dan Klatnoff, one of the members of the general partner and the president of DI Communities, will shortly provide further explanation and insight into those areas of responsibility that DEI performs on behalf of the Haley Associates and the portfolio. The third company, as Jack also spoke about briefly, was Haley Securities, Inc. Haley Securities, Inc. is responsible for raising the equity required for the acquisitions by Haley Associates and for its ancillary capital needs. Haley Securities is a fairly regulated company, both by the SEC and by FINRA. FINRA is the largest independent regulator for all securities firms in the United States. Haley Securities is currently licensed in 38 states. It has 2 principals, Jack Haley and Shirley Overly, and 8 registered representatives. Investor relations, and in particular, investor accessibility to the principles of Haley Associates Limited Partnership, is also an extremely important function that Haley Securities performs. I ask each of you to answer this question. In how many of your investments are you able to simply pick up the phone, call your broker, who is also one of the principals in the investment, and have that individual be there to answer the phone? I'm trying to back it up. There we are. This synergy of operations enables us to continuously evaluate each property in the port. Am I hitting the button? I must be. I'll put it down. This synergy of operations enables us to evaluate each property in the portfolio from the perspective of past, present, and future performance. With respect to past performance, in the first 12 to 18 months following an acquisition, we perform periodic lookbacks to compare the actual performance of that property against, I'm sorry. I'll put this down. That's what's causing it. I'm a lawyer, not an IT guy. To compare the actual performance of that property against how it was underwritten. With respect to the present and future performance, we monitor and review on an ongoing basis the performance of each property against its annual budget to ensure that it's operating in accordance with budget. This ongoing review and analysis, what we call asset management, allows us to identify as early as possible any significant deviations, specific reasons for the deviations, and any changes in local market conditions so as to react as quickly as possible to address those issues and their resolution. This asset management function also enables us to identify any properties in the portfolio to which consideration should be given for the possible disposition or refinance, again to take advantage of current market conditions. This synergy of operations has led to a significant portfolio growth. From our beginning in 1993 until the roll-up of the individual limited partnerships into what is now Haley Associates in 2000, we have acquired a total of 17 properties comprising a little over 2,800 units for a total purchase price of $80 million. During this period, we sold only one property located in Wichita, Kansas, which was replaced by another property utilizing a tax-deferred exchange, which I'll briefly talk about shortly. Following the roll-up of the 16 independent limited partnerships into Haley Associates in late 2000, through our latest acquisition in 2009 of the Runaway Bay Apartments in Lansing, Michigan, we acquired 33 properties comprising almost 10,000 units, having a total purchase price of $550 million. As you can tell by this chart, since 2000, we've had a dramatic increase in acquisitions in the last 9 years. During this period, we also sold 13 properties comprising about 3,500 units that had an aggregate value of $231 million. As you all know, in addition to the many other benefits of investment in real estate, the tax law permits of investment in real estate at the time of sale to elect to defer recognition of gain from that sale by reinvestment of sale proceeds into qualifying replacement property. Of the 14 properties that we sold since 1993, only 4 of those properties did we not elect to do a 1031 exchange. In that case, the proceeds from the sale were simply returned to Haley Associates for use elsewhere. In the remaining 10 sales, we ended up doing 1031 exchanges, and in those 10 sales, we acquired 14 replacement properties. The growth of Haley Associates is due as a result of the disciplined property evaluation and underwriting that Haley Associates adheres to. We have a very simple investment strategy. Simply put, it is to buy on Tuesday, cash flow on Wednesday. Playing a significant role in the portfolio growth has been the presence, as Jack alluded to, of a full-time underwriting team composed of 4 individuals that adhere to strict parameters for selecting and underwriting properties. We enjoy a good relationship with all major real estate brokerage houses. While our investments is in partnerships, we actually purchase income streams, not apartments. Apartments are the vehicle we use to achieve those streams of income. The attributes of the properties that we purchase include: the properties are generally 25 years of age or younger, properties having a quality of construction of A- or B+, properties that are located in secondary and tertiary markets, and in specific areas within those markets we call submarkets that have proximity to new development and submarket growth. Properties also having a favorable demographics of a tenant base. And if we're not currently in a particular market, we generally prefer to have our initial acquisition in that market being at least 250 units for efficiency of operation. Jack also spoke about this our proprietary underwriting program that Jack developed back in 1997, and that is constantly being updated and revised, and that we're on version 59 of that. One lender in particular, as Jack also spoke about, after reviewing the underwriting, commented that his staff was intimidated by the quality of our underwriting staff and our underwriting program. This compliment was not from a small lender that had made a single loan to the portfolio. This particular lender, since its founding in 1993, closed in excess of 7,400 commercial mortgage loans with an aggregate principal balance of over $72 billion. This disciplined approach to property evaluation